Hey, Ms. Buff. Hi, how you doing, Madrin? I just wanted to let you know, since this episode is about high school and beyond, you cannot, under any circumstance, mention our school. Oh, we can't mention. Stop! You can't say that. Say what? You just said it. Said what? Stop saying it. Hello, everybody. Hi. Welcome to the second episode of the Between Deadlines and Dreams podcast.
Yes, and what is it called?
Do you want to announce it?
Oh, sure. It's called Between High School and Beyond.
Yes. This topic, y'all. You guys are going to enjoy this one. So,
It's a lot. I have
so
notes.
sit down for this one. We have some really. We'll talk about our own experiences.
Yes. And before we do that, we would like to say some things about where we are right now.
Yeah, so for those who are watching the video version or the clips right now, you might notice this beautiful place we are in right now.
It's pretty cool.
It's very beautiful. This is the Hari Gari restaurant in Mall of Asia
By Chef Harpal Singh Sokhi.
An absolute honor to be able to film here. So a huge thanks to the management and the manager for letting us film here. Because I've been coming to this restaurant a lot and it just feels like a dream that
It
we're filming an
does.
episode for our show here.
It's crazy.
So guys,
It's crazy posh too, so come
food
here.
is amazing here. We will show you our picks of the day.
Sure.
Let's
Yeah.
say our picks of the day.
I don't share my food, sure, but sure.
She's gonna keep it, but we will tell you guys. See, so talk a little bit about Hari Gari. Hari
Like a
Gari,
little bit.
just a little bit, because this is an amazing place, and I would love for all our listeners to come here. Right? Hari Gari is based on Chef Harpal Singh Sokhi's culinary journey of exploring new places, countless stories, and memorable experiences of different cultures and places all over India. At Hari Gari, every dish has a story of its own, with our chef's special touch and
Oh my
Namak
God.
Shamak.
Hashtag Namak Shamak.
Hashtag Namak Shamak to it.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
So, thank you, Hari Gari.
Thank you. Pretty cool. Fine.
Okay, so about today's topic,
Between high school and beyond.
do you wanna introduce us? Why are we talking about this today?
Because that's where we are right now. That's literally where we are right now. We're literally in between 10th and 12th. And it's scary at this point because we had a lot of decisions to make in 10th in itself.
Yeah, I think we're in the Indian education system at least, like, we are still in the developmental phase where we are figuring out ourselves and what we want in life. But we are supposed to take these big decisions after 10th, like what stream we're gonna take, and your stream literally decides what degree you're gonna take, and that degree.
At least that's what people say.
Yeah, that's at least what people say. That finalizes your life and everything. So yeah, that's why the transition has been crazy.
It has been.
We're talking about our experience.
Girl, it was transitioning from 10th to 11th was crazy. The difficulty level just.
Exactly. See, nobody prepares you for how loud your brain gets after 10th, right? The exams end, the relatives start talking, and suddenly you're asked to choose a stream that somehow decides the rest of your life, and you're just 17.
Yeah, and they say teenagehood is like the most time that you are so emotional and like how would you make a child decide literally the course of your life?
Exactly.
It's pretty gnarly. I don't like it. So, you want to start with 9th and 10th? How that was?
Whoa, 9th and 10th. I would say it was definitely a period of my life. In 9th, I was definitely in a point of my life where I still wanted to be an astronaut. Let's just start with that, okay? Because I kept changing my profession
I concur.
again and again and again and again. And it was a period where I was still understanding who I was as a person. And then 10 started, and then everyone is talking about, oh my god, board exams. It's this huge thing, right?
Huge. If you fail, you fail.
Yeah,
in
it's so
life.
intimidating. And then your board exams are nearing, and then I hear relatives calling me up, wishing me good luck, and I'm like, oh dear Lord, this is serious.
I'm so sorry you had to.
I was I was freaking out. Then
And I was also like in my phase of wanting to become an astrobiologist and an astrophysicist. And then I saw my science portions and then gave up on that.
I think I gave up once I found out we had math. Because me and math, we have like a really bad connection since first grade.
Yeah, but the thing is, I really started to like math at one point in 10th. It was really cool. Yeah.
No, do not mention that infuriating, frustrating thing to me ever again. This one.
Yeah, let's not scare our viewers too. Because if you want to take math, you'll take math. You can probably do anything.
Yeah, right.
It's just like a little motivational talk.
Yeah. In 10th, I feel it was definitely a very tumultuous year of all the 17 years of my life because I personally had like a lot of personal issues. Don't dive too deep into that, no way. But
You're not gonna get it.
Yeah. And I was just not up to it. I did not want to study. I failed my pre-boards. Pre-board 1 and 2. I'm not even joking, bro. People who knew me in 10th would know this. I used to sleep in the examination hall because I just did not want to study. That's how bad.
That is valid though. I'm sorry that you went through.
That's fine.
You're still here. You're still
here. And the reason I'm saying this is, when you reach such a low point of your life, you have to remember, when you reach rock bottom, the only way out is up. So if you are at a point in your life where you're rock bottom, the only way is up.
Preach.
Yeah, and I want to give a small advice. My cousin, should I name drop her? Okay, my cousin Finusha gave me this advice one time when she was going through a horrible time. She said that whatever issue you're in right now, you just have to believe that this too shall pass. It sounds cliche. It sounds to like, bro, it doesn't sound right when we, but that is the point. See, there is always a storm before the rainbow, right?
Oh, yeah. There's always a silver lining to every dark cloud.
Exactly. So if you are at rock bottom, just be patient. Be patient and remind yourself this too shall pass. And that is what I am in right now. Last year I had hit rock bottom. I really thought I might fail 10th. My relatives said that. My teachers had no hope in me. They're talking to my parents saying, she's not doing great. So I really believe that this is the end for me. And a year later, I am filming a podcast episode with one of my best friends. I have a whole team.
I'm the best friend.
And I have amazing experiences in life. So take us as an example that everything does get better. And should I even start mentioning friendships? Because
I mean, we want to talk about friendships.
Yeah.
9th and 10th. Yeah,
exactly. Now, Misbah, moving on to you.
So 9th and 10th was quite the 2 years, because 8th grade went pretty well for me at least. It was pretty cool. And 9th and 10th was not amazing. I mean, the people were amazing, okay? The people were amazing, but like how many people can be great separately, but like not as great together as friends or anything. So that was one thing, because like there were many great people in my head, but then we just didn't jam it. We were never on the same wavelength as and the friend aspect of it was so, I don't know how to explain it, because people were getting friends. Like a lot of friends. And I was just in the back.
You just felt like not like a second friend, not like,
I hear you. I hear you, babe.
No, because you want to be there for that person, but that person doesn't feel the same for you. You felt like that, you would be that person's second or third option more than that first.
Yeah.
Was it like that?
Yeah, and it was like that. But then I did find like one friend of mine who was like an angel. I don't know if I can name drop her. Let's bleep it out if I can't. But she was amazing. She literally was an angel. Girl, how much? I'll eat it. She literally. And then we still talk to this day, and it's really nice to talk to her because she literally helped me through a lot of things.
Love her.
Yeah, but
I saw that one friend.
Yeah, I do see that one friend. But then, I still hated 9th and 10th just because it wasn't.
Was it the
I was amazing academically. I was really good. I got like a good percentage in my board exams too. But then the thing with my social aspect was that I sucked at it.
You felt like you weren't social enough?
I wasn't social enough. Definitely not. I'm social. Like I'm very social right now. This is the most social I've ever been in my life.
So let's just compare you from 10th and 11th. What's changed?
I'm more social, obviously. That's one thing. I'm not afraid to talk to people anymore. Like, I'm doing this. I'm literally at a restaurant. We literally asked and then we came here. And then I feel like the social anxiety is wearing off a little bit.
Oh, that's
more.
great.
Exactly. And then I'm getting out there more. I'm doing NGO stuff. I'm doing
guys,
podcast
we'll
stuff.
sneak peek into the NGO stuff maybe later. She's very...
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
I have
Who knows?
private life.
Private life there.
Okay.
So,
how
can you say that because of all the stuff in 9th and 10th, this is what, from my perspective, I want to know that's how you felt too. In 9th and 10th, you had almost a lot of issues going on, right? So that it's kind of like the muck of society kind of puts this layer around you, right? And that kind of, how do I say this? It prevents your real self from really showing out.
I agree. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, in your 11th, you're doing a lot of stuff that's out of your comfort zone. And then finally, that real self starts showing off.
Yeah, no one was as insane and nerdy as me in 9th and 10th. And then I found a lot of people.
Did you feel like your 9th and 10th version was the real you?
No, definitely not.
For me personally, I feel like after 10th and I came to 11th, I made a vow to myself, you know what, I'm going to be social this year. Because I am a very extroverted person. Because of all the issues in 10th, I feel like people thought I was a very introverted, depressed, sad, those classic emo
poet.
people. So I made a vow to myself that I'll put myself out there and get out of my comfort zone.
That's what I did with this podcast.
This is us getting out of our comfort zone. Who knows where this will go?
Yeah.
But
maybe we'll get millions out of this. Who knows?
Maybe this might just go into complete shambles. That's a realistic point of view. But whatever happens, we are getting something out of it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So another piece of advice. If there's only one thing our listeners are going to get out of this episode, it is that you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I'm going to say that again. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Push yourself out of your boundaries. Get out of that small bubble, that safety net you put yourself in. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you so much.
A little pause. Our waiter has brought
This is a virgin mojito.
A virgin mojito.
We got some dry rose petals in it.
Yes, by Karigari. A huge shout out to them. Do you wanna?
Sure. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Is this complimentary?
I don't know. Cheers, babe.
Oh my god.
Shout out to Karigari because that's
crazy.
That's crazy good. Okay, so for today's menu, we have a drink
That tastes like bouginess.
Yeah, it has like this cute little rose petals on top, which just makes it a lot better. Thank you so much for this drink.
Hell yeah. Okay. So, how is 11th right now for you?
11, super different. Understand that? I'm trying to come up with accurate words to define it, and I'm not able to. Definitely doing a lot more stuff. Like I feel like this year has been a lot more hectic than 10th, but hectic in a rewarding way. Because yesterday I did not sleep. We had to do so much podcast stuff. We had a plan for today's meetup, and there was just a lot of
We had to find a restaurant.
That was, and it's just been sleepless nights, but it's been rewarding.
I've been editing the first episode and it's going so long.
You guys, it's crazy.
Yeah. And so 11th, I would say 11th has been the best year I've had so far.
I would say that too. And you know what? I'm going to take a moment and give a shout out to the Jordan.
The Jordan?
He is behind the camera right now. He is the director of every episode. He is the reason these episodes and our caption and our posts and our script is so good.
He
So
really is.
huge shout out to Jordan. I just want to get a
Like the cold opens is just him.
It's just him.
opens
Yeah.
is him.
So
Yeah.
I want to talk about 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So me in 11. I think everyone knows this story, but let's just say it again.
People always tease you about
Yeah,
the story.
it was definitely one of my insecurities, but it's doing better now.
Mhm.
So basically, back in October last year, when I was still in my 10th, I made up my mind that I wanted to do humanities because obviously I want to do international relations, and that was the plan.
Mhm.
So I wrote my entrance exam for humanities in our school, and I got in. Now my parents were definitely a bit doubtful of me going to humanities because they were open to whatever dream I had, but it is true that humanities has a lot less options compared to
Yeah.
science. So
People take science because they want it as like a safety
a
thing.
safety net, yeah.
Yeah. Because people don't know what they want to do. At
Exactly.
points. Yeah.
So so my parents were just scared that I might lose that safety net in case I decided to change my occupation in 12th, but I would have already taken humanities by then and I wouldn't able to do that change, that transition. So during January, little bit before board exams, everyone's saying, why do you take humanities, take science, that's better, this is better. And everyone had so many opinions, and
Yeah.
my 10th grade brain started listening to all those opinions.
Mhm.
It was like, okay, maybe that would be better, maybe this would be better, why am I doing this, should I do this, should I do that? It was a crazy time, and I started listening to everyone's opinion. And after 12th, my mom and dad even said, maybe it would be nice if you just took science, because that would give you a lot more options. My parents are very open to all my dreams, but what they said was correct. Safety net is very important.
Yeah.
So, what did I do? I wrote another entrance exam.
A roller
for science.
coaster.
It was science. It was a roller coaster. After my board exams, I studied science. I wrote a science entrance exam. I got my textbooks. I joined class, and that's when I met my guys, met my gang. I met all my friends.
I will say the first time I ever saw you was in MUN and I was terrified of you.
She saw me in month. That was back in 9th grade, right?
Yeah,
Because you gotta be terrifying when you're in a month.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did that. Okay, you can continue with the story.
Yeah. So I joined science and it was nice. I had friends. But I'm not that much of a loner. I did have friends before, but I just clicked with these people.
Mhm.
I bonded with Miss Bar during our psychology class, and
Mhm.
I knew this would happen. Like, she was amazing, and a lot of other friends, right?
Thank you.
And then I started going for classes, and I started going for tuition,
Yeah.
and then I took PCB without maths. So, and I said, okay, fine. Math is like my worst subject, so it's good. I don't know how to do math. Little did I know,
Physics and chemistry had math in it.
No, it's math with another name, like math or arts or something.
Exactly. Like we had theory in math.
Oh dear Lord, I had to. My God, I'm getting like flashbacks now. PTSD. I had to listen to a 1-hour lecture by Alak Pandey on differentiation and integration. Understand that 1-hour lecture and then go to chemistry.
Yeah. We had teachers telling you that you were really tired and are you okay?
Yeah, it just came up to me.
Point.
Are you okay? Are you fine?
Are you okay, beta?
I'm fine. So then, in the back of my mind, I knew that I did not want this. I kept pushing myself for a goal that I didn't see myself in. Right? So I kept pushing myself. But then finally, after 2 weeks, during our UT exams, our first UT exam,
Yeah.
I decided I cannot do this.
Yeah, you called me and all.
I called her like, no, it's not working. And I thought she might be like, try hard or something. But she was so supportive. She's like, go for it. Do what you want. For love and everything. So I switched to humanities.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You can do that, by the way. It's no problem.
Yeah,
If you
and it's-
aren't jamming with the stream, it's not your fault. It's probably the subject's fault for you.
Exactly. So I thought because I might lose friends or that I might, have to make friends all over again. But here we are. Still
She's
best
in
friends.
humanities. I'm in still.
We still see each other during lunchtime. We still super close.
It's a nightmare.
2 different worlds, but we still make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I love the fact that I finally found people on my wavelength. That was so nerdy. You are so nerdy, and I love you for that. So
I'm quite nerdy in my own way.
Yeah. And I also wanted to talk about how the intense dream making decision. You talk about yours, and I would like to tell you mine because it was
Please do.
intense. Like for
I have my
months.
drink. Start.
For months, I literally have in my notes app like a 3-page document on why I should choose PCB plus
Oh my
psychology. You know why? Because like I thought no one would take it. I thought literally no one would take it. I thought I was like, that's such an unpopular opinion, that's such an unpopular combo and all. I'm doing it, man, don't worry. But like many people did. Many people, I transitioned people to come to psychology because I was so. I convinced Jordan to come to psychology. He had applied math and he was also dying.
Oh my god, that's a topic we should talk about.
He's nodding behind the camera, just saying.
Yeah.
But like, I can't express how insane and how scared I was because I really didn't think I'd have many friends. I was manifesting so hard to have like a friend group that would actually work with me, that would actually be so nerdy. Like, a lot of people aren't nerdy in the school, right? Like, they're
It's like
very,
nerdy is some kind of a bad thing.
yeah, like nonchalance more.
Oh shoot. Oh, it's red flag, red flag.
Yeah, red flag, hell yeah. But yeah, the intense dream making decision was quite a lot, I would say. It was scary.
Would you say that you chose that, like, did you ever choose something like a stream or a subject or a hobby just because you were scared of falling behind? Because you said you chose psychology and
I mean, I want to do forensic psychology. Like, that's my end destination.
Yeah.
So I have like this one thing, okay? In my stream, like the notes, the document that I made, I was like, anything biological, anything medical, I have to choose PCB. Okay, I have to choose PCB. But then, and then I was like, forensic psychology, I have to take psychology as an elective. So it wasn't that hard to choose in combo as it was to convince myself that, yes, this is what I want and this is what other people would want.
Did you feel double-minded about your decisions? You felt like, okay, this is what I
No,
want.
not yet, not now, because like that was the major decision.
then,
yeah,
maybe.
back then maybe.
Yeah.
And I was very indecisive. Now I'm here. I am.
And
stable.
you feel like you're in your perfect position.
I really am. I actually really am.
Yes.
Yeah. And I also wanted to talk about your first impression of me
Of
and the
you?
whole class.
Of the whole class, I was definitely very skeptical. Not of Misbah, okay, just coming to class. Because it was just like, I knew do I want. I was in that space, like, I don't want science, but I'm still doing it.
Mhm.
But I came to the class and everyone was so nice. I told them the first 2 days too, like, bro, everyone here is just so nice.
Yeah.
I feel like people are just so focused on studies that you don't have time to make like issues or some kind of drama. Because I felt that a lot in 10th, like people made issues with each other. But here people were just focused on their thing and everyone was nice. You were so nice. One of our friends, a mutual friend of ours, I don't know if we can name drop
We can
her,
bleep it.
is the one who introduced me to you. It was during
Really?
I don't know if you remember. During bus time, and she's like, "Oh, this is Mehjabeen. This is Misbah." She introduced us. I'm like, "Oh, hi."
I think the first time we talked was when we both found out that we were both in psychology. And
Yeah,
you were
no, I was like, she Misbah took psychology too. You guys could like go together, and that's how we.
she's an angel. I love her.
She's also part of our team. Okay,
Yeah, let's see if she
she can come next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the next day we went to psychology together. Rest is history. Rest is history.
the rest is humanities. So how, okay, you wanting to do international relations, how long have you wanted to do that? Because
It was a very recent dream.
really, because forensic science was a recent dream for me too. Like,
Meant to be coincidence? I don't think so. I think you and I were meant to be.
yeah.
But
And
international relations, I want to be an astronaut. I wanted to be an astronaut till
Yeah.
ninth grade. But then it felt like an unrealistic dream. I mean, of course, if you guys want to be if someone wants to be an astronaut, go for it. But in my head, it just felt like an unrealistic dream. I just felt like I watched a lot of space movies to a point I thought I could be an astronaut too, that I could be, like the Interstellar movie.
Uh-huh.
I love Interstellar so much. I actually thought I could go and purge through the dimensions of time and go to another galaxy.
Yeah.
That's how delusional I was.
We're still delusional, but
Yeah.
then we're grounded delusional.
Yeah. International relations, I knew that whatever job I wanted to take in the future, it has to be a position where I can impact people's lives in a good way, right? So, and doctor or medical services didn't stick my name, didn't
Yeah.
stick. But I love public speaking. I love
I've seen you do months now.
and
Oh
I
my
love
god.
politics. I come from a family where we have a lot of political discussions around the table.
Mhm.
My parents, both of them are very much into this happened today, that happened today, and I think hearing such talks ever since I was small really influenced me to take that stream because I love those discussions. And we have so many issues and wars going around the world, and I know that if I had that same power, that I would have taken
Mhm.
so many better decisions.
Mhm.
So I want to be a diplomat.
Yeah.
And hopefully in the future.
Yeah.
So it started off in 10th grade, I would say, international relations. Yeah.
Definitely. That's really
What about
cool.
you?
Forensic science. Okay, I would love to talk about this because my mom would feel so happy. But there was this one time my mom told me to take psychology as an elective or a job as it is, psychologist. But then I was so annoyed. But then because I don't know if I want to do that. But then it turns out I didn't want to do that.
Funny thing, even my mom told me to take psychology. My mom.
Exactly. How? But my mom knows everything about me. My
That's
mom,
sweet.
I really love her, but I feel like I don't express it a lot, but I still love her. But I really did hate the fact that my mom was right, but then I'm grateful to her too. It was amazing. And then forensic science for psychology, how cool is that? What if I get
What do you like about forensic? Why forensic, especially that?
Because as you said, you want to help people. I also want to help people. I always loved the idea of science too. So I always knew I wanted to do something science and law. Because that's one of the two job or streams you can say. Streams you can say. I love the idea of everything about them. Like science and law, they are amazing. But then so I never really knew how to combine the two, so I was always just jumping around them. So, but then finally landed on forensic science, and then
It's a perfect mix of two.
yeah, exactly. And I've literally asked everyone about forensic science. They're like, that makes so much sense for you. That makes amazing sense for you. And forensic psychology because it's just psychology is just a very interesting subject. Like behavior, how your mind works. This is why I started this podcast.
Yeah, and it led us to us starting a podcast. So shout out to our moms. They're the one who made us take psychology.
Love
so
that.
a huge shout out to them.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
You talk.
Okay. So I have a few questions. I feel like see, I just want to note to people that just because we're talking about all our experiences and how things are going great, it doesn't mean we have everything together.
Yeah.
It's to show that we are also going through our own journey.
Yeah.
And to share our experiences with you. Who knows, things might go bad after this. But whatever does happen, we will get through it.
Yes.
That's what we feel.
Preach.
So we are also going through this journey, and it's to show you that we are also like. So I have a few questions because I feel like self-reflection helps us a lot.
Okay.
Everyone can get that idea. Whatever. So when you
This is rapid fire.
yeah,
Okay.
when you see people our age online who look sorted, right? What's your honest reaction? Like, do you feel pressurized or do you feel motivated? Do you feel envy towards them?
No, I got a reel in my FYP page right now that I was like, I'm studying physics right now and I'm watching people my age debuting in K-pop groups and all, and I'm like, girl,
Did you feel that? Like, oh, should
I don't feel necessarily that I should be doing that because I know
that's not you.
that's not me.
But you have your own journey.
Yeah.
So you felt, who cares?
Yeah, I'm not who cares. I'm happy for them. Like they're doing stuff and all, but then
Would
it's
you-
not
yeah.
something I would do.
Would you, a year back, would have felt that?
Definitely.
Definitely feel a little bit of envy.
Yeah.
A lot sorted.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Owen Cooper from Adolescence literally won a Grammy and he's 1 year younger than me. won like a Grammy or some award.
Can we make it a lot more obvious that we love psychology? We love Hone Cooper, so shout out to him, honestly.
Yeah, from adolescence, damn, he deserved that
He
supporting
deserves that.
actor award.
I would, yeah, right now I would feel like I would feel motivated when I see people like
Wait,
that.
it might have not been a Grammy. It might have been an Emmy. I don't remember.
It's an Emmy. The Grammys for the musicians.
Yeah.
Misbah. It's basic pop culture knowledge.
Okay.
It's okay, Misbah. We see how it is.
Okay, yeah.
So, question.
Mm-hmm.
If a 10th grader told you they feel already behind, what would you tell them based on our experience?
That they're not behind. They're literally not behind. They're on their. They're doing things at their pace, and if that feels uncomfortable to them, I feel like you have to be good with what you are right now.
Yeah.
To be
One step at a time.
one step at a time. Just like
And-
yourself.
And also, when you look at reels or Instagram posts, people who have it sorted, I wanted to add this, that what you are comparing their highlight reels
Mm-hmm.
to your everyday life.
Mhm.
You don't know the behind the scenes. You don't know what's actually happening,
Mhm.
right? You might see just. Let's take our example. You see me and Misbah sitting in a pretty restaurant and drinking our juice, and
This came with a lot of struggle.
yeah. But this came with a lot of struggle, and you guys do not know the amount of help our team does. We have a full team
Yeah.
doing this. It's not just us. This came out of sleepless nights,
It really did.
frustrating calls.
Yeah.
Still a lot of frustrating calls
Mhm.
and a lot of rejection. A lot of rejection. You guys will
behind
know
the
it.
scenes.
Exactly.
It's so good.
Have you ever dropped or switched something and later realized it actually helped you? Like you gave up something and then later you felt, okay, it was great that I didn't do that.
What do you mean? Like experiences or
Experiences, it could be a subject, it could be maybe a friendship, it could be
Oh
anything.
damn. Oh damn, you're taking me to dark places. But like definitely friendships that I really wanted to like explore more because I knew we had like some interests that we wanted to talk about and then it just didn't work out. Didn't work out.
I would say definitely dropping science was my biggest achievement in life.
Hell yeah.
Sorry to all my science friends,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I'm mad props to you guys.
Yeah, humanities is really cool by the way. I really like humanities.
And I would definitely say friendships. It was.
Mhm.
I felt that we tried to make it work, but at the end of the day, we knew this wasn't going to happen. It always ended up in arguments and
Yeah,
disagreements.
exactly.
So, guys, one good friend is better than 100 fake friends. Another cliche
That's pretty
advice,
good.
but it works. It hits hard. Because we I feel like a lot of people, they want to have a lot of friends just to look, oh, I have a lot of friends, I'm so cool. But do you ever feel connected to those people?
No.
That's the question. So question.
Yeah, we have had such friends before in the past, and then it just doesn't work out. And then it might be a good sign to end that friendship because you don't want to hurt your peace and the other person's peace.
This has been quite a yap session, I would say.
It was such a cool session. So
This episode was completely like an episode where we talk about our experiences and just show you the real side of us. We talked about a lot of psychology in the last episodes. This episode we want to keep it real, right?
Oh yeah,
Hell yes.
keep it real.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Hell yeah.
If you gap along for a long time, but we're gonna leave you on this.
Yep. And yeah,
So, what have we learned completely?
high school stuff. If it doesn't work out.
Everything will work out at the end.
Yep.
And I say this again because preach this. You have to be comfortable with getting uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you feel like you're at such a point of your life where you're so lost, that's good, that's great. Then that helps you to pave your own path in life, make your own road, right? Of course, everything feels like it's breaking down, or you feel like nothing's going your way. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. You're paving a new path for yourself, you just don't know that. And
Yep.
with that, I'm just going to leave you on that. Some food for thought. Yeah?
Yep.
Thank you so much for tuning in for this episode.
How do we look? Look at the bling.
The fifth for the visual
I got
listeners.
headphones too.
And
Yeah.
a final huge thank you to Karigari and the management for letting us film
Shoot
this
our
episode
podcast,
at this
yeah.
beautiful restaurant, guys. Mall Fisher, please do come here.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing place.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And anything else? Cut. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.